Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, is known as one of Hollywood's top guys and top earners. People often ask how much wealth he has made or what are his sources of income. That's what we'll be discussing in today's episode. The world gets to know about the origin of his success when he sheds light on his battle with depression over the years. As a teenager, Johnson watched his parents struggle to afford the basics of life as they were evicted from their apartment and got their car repossessed. We were living at an efficiency of $120 a week. We came home and there was a padlock on the door and an eviction notice as well. My mom just started crying and breaking down. Where are we going to live? What are we going to do? Then his mother attempted suicide. The Rock was 15 when he watched his mother walk into oncoming traffic shortly after being evicted from the apartment. What's crazy about that suicide attempt is that to this day, she has no recollection of it whatsoever. Probably the best doesn't, The Rock said. He was able to pull her from the highway, but then sunk into several years of depression that were made more difficult by injuries that halted his football career and the breakup with his girlfriend. However, he managed to pick himself back up. So, here the question arises, how has his life changed? He is the grandson of professional wrestler Peter High Chief Fanene Maivia and the son of wrestler Rocky Johnson. The young Johnson grew up watching his father perform in the ring. Johnson started playing football from his university life, showing promise with his size and athleticism until his injuries. An injury ended his football career, and then he entered the ring with the World Wrestling Federation as The Rock. He famously feuded with wrestler Steve Austin. He won the WWE and WWF titles various times. Johnson then parlayed his wrestling fame into a film career, appearing in projects like The Mummy Returns in 2001 and 2010's Tooth Fairy. Later projects included the HBO series The Ballers, on which he was also a producer and leading roles in Fast and Furious and Jumanji franchises. He also appeared in The Scorpion King, San Andreas, Skyscrapers, and many other films. His films have grossed over $3.5 billion in North America and $10.5 billion worldwide, making him one of the highest-grossing box office actors of all time. Dwayne Johnson topped the list of high-paid actors, and he earned $87.5 million between June 1, 2019 and June 1, 2020, including $23.5 million for the Netflix thriller Red Notice. 15% of his earnings come from his mega franchise movies. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, which grossed $962.1 million. He was paid $20 million from the Fast Saga films for his role in Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. He is also paid $700,000 for each episode in the Ballers series of HBO. He is also paid royalties for his line of clothing, shoe line, and headphones after teaming up with Under Armour. In August of 2019, Johnson tied the knot with his longtime girlfriend, singer, and music producer, Laura Hashian. The two are parents to two daughters, Jasmine Leah and Tiana Jia. Johnson also has a daughter from his first marriage. He and his high school sweetheart, Dani Garcia, wed in 1977 and split up a decade later, though she continues to work with his manager. To stay in tip-top shape, Johnson works with several personal trainers. As of 2016, one of them was Aaron Williamson, who has also worked with Simmons and Ja Courtney. His programs range from $100 to $250 million per month. He can almost always be spotted in the gym. He is always considered a nice guy in the film industry. The Rock is also a massive fan of cars and is the most popular actor in the world. He has access to a lot of expensive cars of the world, if he can fit into them. In 2016, Johnson showed up to the premiere of Ballers in a Pagani Huayra. The car is custom-made, so prices can vary, but the regular Pagani clock is around $1 million. Huayra is not only a beautiful car, but it has the performance also to back it up. Harboring the Mercedes-AMG 6-liter V18 producing 718 horsepower, this car can go from 0 to 62 miles an hour in just 3.2 seconds. The same type of car can be seen in his HBO show. And The Rock's pride and joy, his custom Ford F-150 truck, is the only one he can fit into properly. Prices of this truck may start at $50,000 for a stock F-150 pickup, but God only knows how much modifications on The Rock's truck costs. It may look like a behemoth to us, but for him, it's a hatchback if the F-150 is not big enough for you. He has given it a little lift, which meant that he could use the hashtag #LiftedAndGifted. He always wanted to be on Instagram. The Rock also has a Hennessy Velociraptor V8. The $150,000 Velociraptor can get from 0 to 60 in just 4.1 seconds. Straight in with another pickup truck, but this time it's even more special as it's a gift from HBO for his part in the show Ballers. The Rock received this insane Hennessy Velociraptor V8, which packs a whopping 758 horsepower. And again, The Rock received another fairly decent present worth $1.15 million. This time, it was only a long-term lease, but still, it was a medal with white Ferrari La Ferrari. Unfortunately, for a big man like The Rock, he had trouble getting into his prancing horse and never really got to experience the 950 horses at the Ferrari's disposal. He gets from place to place in a Gulfstream G650. He can often be seen bringing his family along for rides. It's unclear whether Johnson owns or rents the jet, but one of these planes can cost up to $65 million. As a kid, Johnson always dreamed of owning a Rolex, and the first one he ever bought while still a wrestler cost $35,000. He's also entered the real estate business. Finding inner strength prevented him from becoming suicidal like his mother. He is now using his experience to try and help others. We both healed, but we have always got to do our best and pay attention when other people are in pain. We have to help them through it and remind them that they are not alone in this difficult time. One of the most important things that I know helped me with multiple times I had gone through my episode of depression was making sure that I was talking to the people. According to reports released by Forbes, he is now the second highest paid actor in Hollywood, earning $65 million in 2017. Wow, that's quite a massive amount of money, isn't it? He once said that depression never discriminates. It took me a long time to realize it, but the key is not to be afraid, but to open up. We men tend to keep at it. I found that with depression, one of the most important things you could realize is that you're not alone. You are not the first to go through it, and you are not the last one to go through it. Have faith that on the other side of your pain is something good. For him, dealing with depression requires action, but taking action when you are depressed can be hard. Sometimes just thinking about the things you should do to feel better, like exercising or spending time with friends, can seem exhausting or impossible to put into action. So the things that help us are the most difficult to do. There's a big difference between something difficult and something being impossible. That's it for today's video. If you think we've missed something important, feel free to mention it in the comments section below. Also, do give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.